David Guerrero, host.
Mayor, City Councilman. My name is David Vito. I'm an independent contractor here in Hesperia. I have clients come in my office, and I would not want someone coming in with some kind of animal that carries diseases or could be violent towards my clients, myself, just people in general. Animals are just that, they're animals. We don't know if or when they can snap. We've all heard the horror stories of animals attacking humans out of the blue for no reason. Anything can set them off. Crowds, someone reaching in to pet the animal, quick movements, anything really. I feel allowing all types of animals in establishments will cause nothing but trouble. I can understand that people rely on animals for different things and reasons, but to mix them with the business environment, with people, just isn't right. People can have phobias, allergic reactions, or just be scared of a particular animal. I wouldn't put anybody through that experience. Please vote no on this ordinance. And before I leave, I'd like to find out if somebody can read the penalty for breaking this ordinance so that people in the audience and myself can understand exactly what the ramifications are. Thank you for your time.
Judith Zisman.
Good evening. My name is Judy Zisler, and I just want to read a letter that is from BMW Management Company. It's addressed to Mr. Jensen, and it says, "It is my understanding that the City Council will be reviewing a potential ordinance which proposes to exploit the Americans with Disabilities Act by considering all live animals or pets as service animals, whether legally registered and wearing identification or not. As President and CEO of BMW Management, who owns and operates 25 restaurants throughout California, including the Sizzler restaurant in the city of Hesperia, located at 16988 Main Street, I urge you to oppose such a proposition. Currently, the FDA prohibits live animals except fish and tanks in retail establishments where food is served. Health concerns include, but are not limited to, pets going to the bathroom on the floor or people, restaurant employees petting them and not washing their hands, tripping hazards for people, etc. States draft their own health codes, but most adopt the FDA food code, which has been endorsed by local county city health officials or inspectors. Businesses are already subject to a myriad of potential litigation items, many times frivolous, yet still costing tens to hundreds of thousands of dollars per year, just to maintain their day-to-day business operations, not to mention the additional legal strains in the state of California and the many loopholes exploited by the public. By adopting the proposed ordinance, the city is opening itself and its business community to additional liability, which at this time cannot be quantified. Thank you for the opportunity to express my concerns, and I trust that members of City Council will make the right decision by opposing this proposition. Should you have any questions, please don't hesitate contacting my office. Kind regards, Gary W. Myers. Thank you for your review.
Jesse Fernandez.
I'm just going to read a letter from the county. It's losing my opinion on this ordinance. It basically states the Environmental Health Services is the authorized entity to enforce state law governing food facilities. The California Health and Safety Code 113713. The EHS is tasked with enforcing the excerpted code sections as included below throughout the county and to include all cities. 113903, a service animal. A service animal means an animal such as a guide dog, a signal dog, or other animal individually trained to provide provide assistance to an individual with a disability. 114259.5, prohibiting animals. A, except as specified in subdivision B, live animals may not be allowed in a food facility. And B, live animals may be allowed in any of the following situations if the contamination of food, cleaning equipment, utensils, linens, and unwrapped single-use articles cannot result. And number 4, in areas that are not used for food preparation and that are usually open for consumers, such as dining and sales areas, service animals that are controlled by a disabled employee or person if a health or safety hazard will not result from the presence or activities of the service animal. The change to the definition of the service animal in the ADA went into effect today, and it's anticipated that the state will initiate steps to amend the existing definition in the Health and Safety Code to be consistent with the ADA. Any change in the Health and Safety Code sections listed will be enforced by the EHS, and therefore, if or when the definition changes, they will be enforced by EHS in Hesperia or any other system, any other city in the county. Thank you.
Martin, I'm not even going to try your last name, sir.
Hi, good evening. My name is Martin Keesian, and I'm going to read a fact sheet from the DOJ that amends Title II of the ADA, and the council members have a copy of this. The Department of Justice has amended its regulation implementing Title II of the Americans with Disabilities Act, which applies to public entities. The ADA requires the department to publish ADA design standards that are consistent with the guidelines published by the U.S. Architectural and Transportation Barriers Compliance Board. Therefore, the Title II rule adopts new standards for accessible design that are consistent with the ADA, the ADA accessibility guidelines. The final rule also amends the existing Title II regulation to make it consistent with current policies and published guidelines to reflect the department's experience since the regulation was first published in 1991, and to address and respond to comments received from the public in response to the department's 2008 notice of proposed rulemaking. These revisions take effect today, March 15, 2011. Summary of changes. Service animals. The rule defines service animal as a dog that has been individually trained to do work or perform tasks for the benefit of an individual with a disability. The rule states that other animals, whether wild or domestic, do not qualify as service animals. Dogs that are not trained to perform tasks that mitigate the effects of a disability, including dogs that are used purely for emotional support, are not service animals. The final rule also clarifies that individuals with mental disabilities who use service animals that are trained to perform a specific task are protected by the ADA. The rule permits the use of trained miniature horses as alternative to dogs, subject to certain limitations. To allow flexibility in situations where using a horse would not be appropriate, the final rule does not include miniature horses in the definition of service animal. So, from this, I just ask, why has the city attorney not contacted the Department of Justice to at least ask why they've narrowed their standards? Seems like that would be reasonable. And in view of all this, why would the city of Hesperia take the opposite position of the DOJ? Doesn't make sense to